Hello everybody, I am Shomukant Tigiri. Welcome to my channel. Today I will discuss 10 important questions from physical pharmacy section. Okay, so let's start. The first question is, what is the surface tension of water at 25 degrees centigrade? Okay, this question came in GWAT 2016. Options are 58 dyne per centimeter, 68 dyne per centimeter, 72 dyne per centimeter, or 82 dyne per centimeter. Okay, see, this is a very informative question. Okay, so you should remember this information. Okay, what is the surface tension of water at 25 degrees centigrade? Okay, so coming to the answer, option C, I mean the 72 dyne per centimeter is the surface tension of water at 25 degrees centigrade. Coming to the next question, an acceptable emulsion should be stable with no visible signs of separation at 45 degrees centigrade or 50 degrees centigrade for at least how many days? Okay, this question came in GPAT 2015. Options are 10 to 15 days, 15 to 30 days, 60 to 90 days, or 90 to 120 days. Okay, see, emulsions are thermodynamically unstable formulations. Okay, they are unstable in bond. Okay, but but how in certain days, okay, they should be stable. Okay, in certain amount of days they should be stable at specific temperatures. The question, this question asks about that. Okay, so at 45 degrees centigrade the emulsion must be stable for how many days? The question is asking about that. Okay, so coming to the answer, see, option C means here 60 to 90 days at 45 degrees centigrade or 50 degrees centigrade, the emulsion must be stable for 60 to 90 days. But the explanation says us that at 25 degrees centigrade, the emulsion should be stable for 12 to 18 months. At 37 degrees centigrade, the emulsion should be stable for 5 to 6 months. And 45 degrees centigrade or 50 degrees centigrade, the emulsion must be stable for 60 to 90 days. Okay, you should remember this information. Then coming to the next question, Gibbs phase rule for general system. Okay, this question came in GPAT 2015. Here only the examiner is asking about the Gibbs phase rule, and you should remember the Gibbs phase rule equation, where F is equal to P minus C plus 2. Okay, I mean the D. F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Answer D will be the answer, and Gibbs phase rule is F is equal to C minus P plus 2, where F is the number of degrees of freedom. Okay, and C is the number of component, and P is the number of phases. Then coming to the next question, Mercalli displacement method is used to determine which type of density. See, true density, bulk density, granule density, or none of the above. See, this is a tricky question. Mercalli displacement method is used to determine always granule density. Okay, and true density is measured by helium pycnometer or liquid displacement method. Density is measured by Mercalli displacement method, and bulk density is measured by graduated cylinder method. Okay, all of you knows that. Then coming to the next question. Okay, Hausner ratio less than 1.25 indicates what? Okay, see, Hausner ratio less than 1.25 indicates what? Option A, good flow of powder. Option B, moderate flow of powder. Option C, poor flow of powder. Option D, none of the above. Okay, so what is the indication of Hausner ratio less than 1.25? See, if Hausner ratio is less than 1.25, then the flow of the powder will be good. Here is the chart. Okay, below 1.25 is good flow, 1.25 to 1.5 moderate flow, and greater than 1.5 is poor flow. Okay, these are the on left side, these are the your Hausner ratio values. Okay, and on right hand side, these are the flow property of the powder. Okay, the types of flow of the powder. Then coming to the sixth question, surface free energy, okay, is equal to what? surface free energy is equal to what? Option A is delta G is equal to gamma into delta A. Okay, gamma means here surface tension. Okay, then delta G is equal to gamma into del P, delta G is equal to gamma into del C, delta G is equal to gamma into del K. Okay, all of you know that surface free energy delta Z is equal to gamma into del A. Okay, and gamma is equal to surface tension and del A is equal to change in the area. Okay, then coming to the next question, benzalkonium chloride is which type of surfactant? See, you have to have a very good idea about surfactant. Okay, and the classification of the surfactants. Okay, so this question is from that segment. Okay, so benzalkonium chloride is which type of surfactant? Cationic, anionic, or non-ionic, or amphoteric? Okay, see, benzalkonium chloride is a cationic type of surfactant, and I am giving here some good examples. Okay, about the surfactants. Okay, cationic surfactant example is benzalkonium chloride or BAC. Anionic surfactant example is sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay, then non-ionic surfactant examples are twin and span. Amphoteric surfactant example is lecithin. Okay, you have to collect some other examples also. I am giving here some notable one. Okay, then coming to the next question, what is the Kraft point? Okay, what is the Kraft point? See, Kraft point options are temperature at which solubility of a surfactant is more than CMC, temperature at which solubility of a surfactant is less than CMC, temperature at which solubility of a surfactant is equal to CMC, or A and B. Okay, see, Kraft point means the temperature at which the solubility of a surfactant is equal to CMC. That is why option C will be the right answer. Okay, then coming to the very important question. Okay, the zeta potential values of 4 colloidal formulations have been identified. Okay, which among of the following is more stable? Okay, options are plus minus 10 to minus 20 millivolt, plus minus 0 to 10 millivolt, plus minus 30 millivolt, plus minus 20 to 30 millivolt. Okay, see, zeta potential is measured by zeta Sizer. Okay, and it gives us good indication about the colloidal stability. Okay, so the zeta potential value equal to plus minus 30 millivolt is indicates that it is a highest or higher stable formulation. Okay, so giving the explanation, zeta potential often measured by Malvern zeta Sizer or zeta Sizer, and it helps to understand the colloidal stability. And the chart here, see, plus minus 10 to plus minus 0 to 10 millivolt zeta potential value indicates that it is a highly unstable formulation. Okay, and plus minus 10 to 20 millivolt relatively stable formulation, and plus minus 20 to 30 millivolt indicates that the system is moderately stable. I mean, colloidal system is moderately stable, and plus minus 30 millivolt, that indicates that it is a highly stable formulation, colloidal formulation. Okay, then coming to the last question, deflocculated suspension of magnesium magma shows which type of non-Newtonian flow? Okay, see, deflocculated suspension always shows the dilatant flow. Okay, and coming to the explanation, in case of flocculated particles in concentrated suspension, I mean, flocculated suspension always shows plastic flow. Okay, and Brigham body, yield value, all these terminologies are associated with your plastic flow. Then coming to the pseudoplastic flow, then polymeric solutions, I mean, Triocan, CMC, all these polymeric solutions always show your pseudoplastic flow. Okay, then coming to the dilatant flow means deflocculated suspensions always show your dilatant flow. Okay, so this is the end of our video. Hope all of you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.